you mentioned, which is very important too, keeping hydrated, drinking water. You mentioned that the skin is the largest. Of course, we all know that. Let's talk about how to take care of the skin, because you discover that these days, even when you moisturize your skin, it will look like you never did earlier in the day. So how do we make sure that the skin still keeps the shine?
Moisturizing might not be the way to go.
Okay.
In this condition, it's actually the application of oil-based skin creams, which tends to trap air, tends to trap and reduce insensitive water loss. If you apply a moisturizing cream, it will dry up within minutes, and it will, just like what you said, it will look as if the person didn't apply. So even it is advised that when you take a bath, or you take a shower, you don't completely dry yourself before you apply a body cream. The same goes for the air. You don't completely dry before you apply all these protective things. The other issue is the dressing. People are advised nowadays to apply more protective dressing, most especially in the morning hours when it is very cold, because trying to, if you allow me to use the word thermoregulate, takes a lot of fluid and takes a lot of energy, most especially in children who have very small surface area. It is better to wear protective clothes. Also helps to protect loss of water from the skin.
And even the elderly too.
The elderly.
The children and the elderly,
Yes.
they are more susceptible.
Yes, the extremes of life. Yes.
Okay, to all of this. Now, some people bleed in the nose during this period. Why is that?
Maybe we should have talked about the cracked lips, which also involve the bleeding of the nose, which is actually as a result of over dryness of the mucous membranes of that area. And a good percentage of cases, people that are involved in nose picking, trying to remove a scab from the nose, you remove part of the epithelium. There's a place in the nose, they call it the little's area. Any little scarification causes a lot of bleeding. And except in people who have abnormalities in blood clotting system in their body, this is the cause of bleeding from the nose in this weather.
Okay, so aside from avoiding picking the nose, what else can such people do?
Apply creams to the lips. Some use it to surround the nose. The application of anything that contains menthol, I just use the opportunity to mention it, dries faster than even moisturizing cream. So it's better to use things that are
Daily.
Yes, those ones lasts and protects.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Health News will be back. Just stay with us on the program. It's not all hazy when it comes to Harmattan. Aside from the cold weather inducing longer hours of sleep, sweating and heat rashes may also not have a place on your body. Indeed, every season comes with its own challenges. I'll be back with what's in the news. First on the news segment, effort at containing the Ebola virus in West Africa is yielding fruits as Sierra Leone and Guinea recorded lowest weekly total of confirmed Ebola cases since August last year. Liberia, which reported no new cases on 2 days last week, had its lowest weekly total since June. The death toll from the world's worst Ebola outbreak has reached over 8,000, with more than 21,000 cases so far. According to the latest World Health Organization report, Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone now all have sufficient capacity to bury all the people known to have died from Ebola. But it said underreporting of deaths meant that not all burials were being done safely. The WHO said although cases were decreasing in Sierra Leone, it remained the worst affected country, with eastern areas still reporting the most new transmissions. Last week, there were 59 new reported cases in the capital, Freetown. The national daily infection rate is around 20. In November last year, it was 60. The eastern district of Kailahun, which first recorded Ebola 8 months ago, has had no cases for 35 days and the other former hotspot of Kenema has had only 4 cases since November. But the authorities are warning all to exercise caution, insisting Ebola is still here. Meanwhile, in Guinea, it has been announced that schools and universities are to reopen on Monday, January 19, after a 5-month closure because of Ebola. The authorities there are also stepping up Ebola information campaigns, as in some areas, people are still suspicious of official attempts to fight the disease. Earlier this month, the outgoing head of the UN team fighting Ebola, Anthony Bambry, said he believed cases of the virus would be brought down to 0 by the end of 2015.
Outside Africa, this next report is no good news to Australians, as they will soon pay more to visit a doctor under what looks like a discreet change to the public healthcare system.
The people will pay an extra 20.10 Australian dollars to see a doctor for a short consultation after Medicare slashes its contributions to their bills. The increase was brought in 2 days before Christmas with no official announcement, but has only just been picked up by the Australian media. Medicare has been paying $37.05 towards short GP visits lasting under 10 minutes, made by millions of patients every year. It will now pay 16.95 Australian dollars. The Medicare changes, which will take effect from January 19th, could save the government billions of dollars. It is believed that the changes to consultations under 10 minutes were designed to better reflect the time doctors spend with their patients and to encourage longer GP consultations with patients for better health outcomes. But the Australian Medical Association described the most recent change as an attack on general practice that will force many more people into already overcrowded public hospitals.
Finally, from our news corner, we all know that sleep is meant to refresh the body. However, some scientists in the United Kingdom have found out that the key to learning and memory in early life is a lengthy nap.
The University of Sheffield team taught 6 to 12 months old 3 new tasks involving playing with hand puppets. Half the babies slept within 4 hours of learning, while the rest either had no sleep or napped for fewer than 30 minutes. The next day, the babies were encouraged to repeat what they had been taught. The results, published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, showed sleeping like a baby was vital for learning. On average, 1.5 tasks could be repeated after having a substantial nap, yet 0 tasks could be repeated if there was little sleep time. A study last year uncovered the mechanisms of memory in sleep. It showed how new connections between brain cells formed during sleep.
I won't close this show without letting you into what we have for you on our Nutrition for You segment. Find out why you need to take oranges.
Oranges are round citrus fruits with finely textured skin that are of course orange in color, just like their pulpy flesh. Orange trees are the most cultivated fruit trees in the world. It's a popular fruit because of its natural sweetness, wide variety of types, and diversities of uses. Nutrients in oranges are plentiful and diverse. The fruit is low in calories, contains no saturated fat or cholesterol, but is rich in dietary fiber. For example, one medium-sized orange, approximately 154 grams, contains 80 calories, 0 grams of fat, 260 milligrams of potassium, 14 grams of sugar, 7 grams of dietary fiber, 1 gram of protein, as well as vitamin B6 and folate. Vitamin C in oranges is a powerful natural antioxidant. The consumption of foods rich in vitamin C helps the body develop resistance against infectious agents. Fresh oranges can be eaten at any time, anywhere. Also remember that orange fruit juice is a well-cherished drink all over the world. Sweet, juicy oranges make a delicious and healthy snack or addition to a meal. Enjoy it.
I guess you found one or two more reasons why you should take oranges. Just before we go, I'd like to acknowledge the message sent in by Mohammed from the Federal Medical Center in Katsina State and Wilfred Temisonre from Delta State. If you have questions or comments, do reach us on healthnews@channelstv.com and on any of our other feedback platforms. Thank you for watching Health News. I am Yomi Otaibi.